On this week's episode, we talk about Here.
And other pop culture news.
So we just got back from the theater.
And this is just in America. We did it. America decided, when we decided to be great again. I'm not gonna wear this all the time.
Yeah,
it's way too small for me. Yeah, for someone with such a big head. I mean, President-elect Trump, you would assume you would find bigger hat. I couldn't. I guess they make one big one for him. Anyways, this is just in breaking news. So yesterday, the whole day, was the election, and in a historical moment, America decided to re-elect?
I guess so.
To re-elect
Yeah.
with a term in between.
Yes. After a brief hiatus.
President Donald J. Trump. It was an exciting race, but the other side, Kamala Harris, was representing the woke, everything woke. And besides that, she was incompetent and unqualified, and her policies are the same as the current president. So America decided to, no, this is not good. We need to change. And since Trump was president again before, and it was better, America decided to give him a second chance. Two little bits about the election is she was on SNL last Saturday, and according to the law, SNL, NBC would have to offer him the same amount of time, equal time.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what they call?
I think so. It's an FCC rule that basically, like, if you're going to give a certain amount of time to one candidate, you have to give that amount of time to another.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a skit where Kamala Harris gets to come on and make a whole pitch, you got to give some time.
Even if it's not a pitch, because it was a joke, but
It was
they
a
have
very pitchy joke.
They have to, and the joke is old actually. They did
Yeah.
with Trump 8 years ago. It was Kimmel, no, NBC, Saturday Night Live. But anyways, so which was like sneaky, like right at the last moment. Lord Michaels said, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, that no, we're not gonna get any of them. And at the last second, I mean, it's one of the signs, the many signs of desperation of her campaign.
It was so last second. I was listening to NPR, and one of the reporters, like, on Air Force 2 with Kamala Harris, they got on the plane. They were told they were going to, I can't remember where, they were going to one place, and then they diverted and went to New York to film the spot.
Yeah, and again, another one of her known very unsmart decisions, because Joe Rogan offered her to be on his show, huge podcast, probably the biggest podcast in the planet. So she would be on the show like Trump was and like every other guest is for 2-3+ hours. She refused. She said, "No, I'll be on your show if you come to me, and if it's only 45 minutes." And Joe Rogan's like, "Nah, thanks." So he did follow the law, even though it's a podcast. I don't know if it's regulated by.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, but he extended a courtesy. She said no. In relation to NBC Saturday Night Live, the network did come and offered Trump the same amount of time, and he put an ad for free. But he did on Sunday Night Football, which is
oh my gosh,
bigger than SNL. So hey, thanks Kamala for one more mistake. And another bit about the elections is the numbers of viewership of the night. Fox News dominated again with 9.8 billion viewers.
Million.
Million, yeah. We don't have enough. But
I don't think we have that many people on the planet yet. We're getting close.
Yeah, I did a Kamala just now. So,
or a Trump. They've both. That's a really common gaffe.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so followed by NBC that for the first time beat CNN. But my assumptions and my I think that streaming did make a big change this time. We watched live on Daily Wire, but HBO Max was doing the same. Amazon Prime was doing the same. Hulu was doing the same. So the numbers for television viewership may be hugely affected by that.
It's true. The Free Press also had an election night coverage on YouTube, which sounded really interesting. So if we weren't watching Daily Wire, I would have gone over and tuned into that.
Oh yeah,
frankly, I slept through most of it because we're in the middle of moving and it's a whole thing. And anyway, but
again, all the podcasters did too. I know Mark K did a viewing party. He went to a bar, but he was broadcasting. So
and frankly,
there's several
all these guys,
options.
Yeah. All these scripts just sound a whole lot more appealing than anybody on broadcast television right now.
Oh, jeez. It's so biased. And if anything, this election, this victory is not a victory against Kamala. It's not a Trump victory. It's a victory of we the people against mainstream media that lie to your face and call you stupid and blame you for everything. Big tech that helps on this, shadow banning pages. So, anyways, so maybe they will learn, maybe not. But if anything, we have options. We can see on other sources, and it seems like these other sources are helping people make a better decision.
Make different decisions. Yeah, it's already. So I try to get news, get information, follow people from a variety of, from across the political spectrum, just to have some good perspective and be aware of things. And of course there's already a lot of blame, a lot of fear, a lot of sorrow. And I'm sorry and I feel for that. But there's also so much blaming and already labeling everybody who voted for Donald Trump as hateful bigots, Nazis, fascists, all that other stuff.
Oh, don't forget the president, the leader of the free world.
Correct.
Called all of us
garbage, all that other stuff, and I feel like they really missed the point, and it's super unfair. Not the point. There's a lot to it, but it's really unfair and kind of exemplary of maybe part of why Kamala lost and why Trump, who has never won a popular vote before, finally has the popular vote. He not only won decisively in the electoral college, he's got the popular vote this time. I think there's a lot more going on there than the very online and mainstream media are seeing, and it's stuff like this. People anyway. So I hope that things change. I hope that next time we have better options. I hope that the Democratic Party stops taking for granted the votes of minorities, people of color, all the rest, and that they actually step up and do something and offer something. And I really, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
And trying to lie to people, it's like saying that if he was elected, it would be the last election. He would become like a tyrant, like in a sci-fi movie, like we see in ads. They put a lot of money, and a lot of the money was used for, ironically, what they call misinformation. But yeah, if anything, it doesn't have signs of change. The mainstream media today was shocked and revolted and saying that she was the best candidate. And no, she wasn't. You're still lying. Anyways, but another bit about the election, last one, is that right away on election night, the markets start reacting really positively.
Yeah.
With Bitcoin surging and Elon Musk Tesla gaining 11%. Dogecoin, for instance, was 25, 30% just on the night. I was like, so which is a good thing, because one of the biggest problems with the Biden administration is the economy, and the economy is like showing like heartbeats just for the perspective of Trump being elected, which wasn't even the case, because that was in the beginning of the night. And anyways, so good signs. We hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it. Now back to our scheduled programming. Is that what they say?
Yes, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Here, from Robert Zemeckis and his usual team. In fact, this film brought together like a whole ton of cast and crew from Forrest Gump. We've got Tom Hanks and Robin Wright working together again. Alvin Silvestri doing the music. Alan Silvestri doing the music. And
his cousin Alvin, he became a lawyer, I think.
Followed a different path. And several other people behind the scenes, camera guys, editors, and other names that I don't know as well. But anyway, so we got the gang back together to make another heartful film.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer was cute, was pretty, was well done, but it's like right out of the gate, it had things that bugged me, because the movie, based on the comic book, by, what's his bucket?
We looked it up. We prepared.
Longmire?
And then we forgot.
Quagmire?
Nope.
It's
I'll
something
find
like
it
that,
again.
right?
It was Richard.
Quagmire.
Nope, you were just watching Family Guy.
Longmire.
Richard McGuire.
McGuire,
Oh,
see?
so close.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Family Guy there. I was watching. Anyways, based on a comic book, and you know, if you ever read a comic book has some of them might have the same frame, the same drawing, repeated with different dialogues. So, inspired by those concepts, they have this movie, this story, going from the age of the dinosaurs to, let's say, current times, present day, and is all in the same room, same framing, same room. What changes is what changes with time. The color of the walls, the decorations, the couch. I think in 100 years, I think only changed twice, right?
Yeah, not as often as you would think.
And the characters, they grow, they born, they live, they die, and I was worried, because it's like this is so theater, the same room from beginning to end. It's like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna like that. The suspense of disbelief, poof. Anyways, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it gets personally for me, it gets a bit old and drags, because especially if you know, and I guess everybody knows after, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, that it's not going to move from there. So it's going to be heavily based on the stories. And the trailer gives up some big moments. So I know what you think.
I agree, and I feel like such a hubristic critic for going after Robert Zemeckis, who's made some of my favorite movies. Same with Tom Hanks, Robin Wright. Like these are people that I really, really like, and I respect so much of their work. I feel like this one fell short, and it wasn't even just for me. The framing wasn't that big an issue. I was never able to really emotionally engage with anyone. There were definitely really sweet moments and some very warm fuzzy things. So for example, like I mentioned before, we just bought a house. Our house is 130 years old. And so it was nice to sit there and think like, oh man, like what's happened in our home and how beautiful this is that we're continuing this story. And I was thinking about the people who built it. So there's some nice stuff there, but that's about it. For me, there were two things that kind of got in the way of the suspense of disbelief, my ability to really emotionally engage with the stories. The first was the extensive use of computer graphics to either de-age. It's they do it with Paul Bettany and Kelly Riley, but you mostly see it with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. So anyway, to either de-age them or to stick their faces on other actors, younger actors.
What do you mean?
Like some of the actors, like it wasn't Tom Hanks running around. It was like this skinny,
Oh,
lanky,
yes,
right?
of course. Yes,
Same thing
yes.
with Robin Wright. And it wasn't, it felt weird. It felt forced because it was obviously fake. We know these actors well.
And the voice gives away because they sound old.
Yeah, and like Robin Wright, she's such a good actress, but it felt so forced until we finally got to the point in the story where there wasn't any effects, where she was like playing her age. And then it was finally like, oh, there she is. Now I believe it. I feel like it would have been much better if they had just cast different people and let different people just act it.
Yeah, and that's all
it would have been fun, and I think that would have been so much better than trying to like engage with something that I know is super fake.
And I would assume that's other thing from the theater, right? Because actors will act the entire life of the role, right? It doesn't matter the age, and I guess that's why. And I guess you have to. I don't know. It makes sense, but
I get it.
But it would create another problem because as soon as you connect with a certain character, poof, the character is a different actor. So you're gonna have to reconnect, and I think connection problems was a big thing.
Yeah. So here's my other issue with it. This film, we jump through time over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And like jumping back and forth, and there's not really a whole lot of rhyme or reason, except they kind of followed a theme, like, oh, people are being born here, oh, now people are dying, and now people are getting married. So like there's some cohesiveness to it. But again, when you're like getting jolted in and out, I couldn't really connect. I think it would have been much more emotionally impactful and much more engaging if we just stuck with chronology. Sometimes jumping through time makes it more interesting and captivating, but I feel like this time it was a misstep. And if we had just like stuck with it chronologically and just been able to fully invest in these characters or families, I think it would have been a lot more beautiful, and the parallelism wouldn't have been as obvious. But I think it would have been more powerful if we'd like heard somebody say, like, he died 20 minutes ago, and then 45 minutes later we hear the line again. It's like, oh wow! I just think it would have been much better that way.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, there's some beautiful moments. The concept is cool, but it fell flat.
It does fail in some aspects. It has its beauty, but overall, as a whole piece, it's like by the end, when it ends, it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't quite get it.
Yeah.
But
well, and I just think of like other Zemeckis films that just like get you and like have you so hard through the whole thing, like the whole Back to the Future franchise and Forrest Gump and other, like, oh man, Forrest Gump, I feel like
Forrest Gump does play with that. His life, he goes through wars and to political. He met several presidents. He does that very well on that one.
Yeah, it's super effective. So I know maybe that's why too I have high expectations. We know what Robert Zemeckis can do with these actors and in general, and this one is.
Yeah, I think it felt for me, since the trailer, it felt like, and I love comic books. The irony is that, but it felt the whole, it felt gimmicky, the way they choose to shoot one room from beginning to end. And they don't give us enough back, because we are allowing them, as an audiences, we are allowing them to break the formula of film and staying on the room, right? That's theater. So we concede them, give them permission to, okay, I'll give you that. We're gonna sit here and watch this movie as is, even though it's not according to the film grammar on how is done traditionally. There's some, of course, there's exceptions. So give us something in return. It doesn't give us enough. It's like there's a big example. Reservoir Dogs is entire in a room, not as solid as this, like same framing all the time, but the entire movie is about a heist. We never seen the heist.
Yeah.
But what they give us in return is it's worth it. It keeps us engaged.
Yeah, Rear Window is another good example of that. There we get
there's a
different
Hitchcock
camera
has another
angles.
one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you need to see that one. It's the one there's a apartment party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Dial M for Murder is the other one I'm thinking of. That is actually a play, and I can't remember if they do different camera angles or if it's just the one. But the story is so compelling and riveting that within a few moments, like, you don't even notice.
Yeah.
You don't even notice. It's not a gimmick at all. It's just like, well, this is how the play was written, so this is how we're gonna make the movie, and it's unbelievable. So it can be done. It can be very effective. There's also what was that movie with Dagnabbit?
I never seen
Yeah.
that one.
No, the one where he's like, it's the pilot in the cockpit and then the plane gets hijacked. And so the whole movie, we're just in the cockpit, this tiny space.
That one that just got live it. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's examples of this being done very effectively. This just wasn't it.
Yeah. Anyways, not here, but at the theaters, is available in theaters everywhere. You can go check, even though there's several good options out there and more coming. There's The Carpenter. There's like next week comes the Bonhoeffer. No, that's Thanksgiving, right? But there's Red One. Red One is coming soon. Wicked is coming soon. So, but anyway, if you want to check the latest Zemeckis, if you're a fan of those people, you should go. It's available in theaters everywhere.
It is. All right, let's look at just a little dash of other pop culture news. A financial report from Nintendo has revealed that a Legend of Zelda movie is set to come out sometime in the 2020s.
Yes.
So,
the note says 22X. So it gives us some 5 years, right? Because after 9 is 30. And this year is gone, so it's maybe more like 4, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, so 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years, so.
Yeah, so we'll see.
There's a lot of potential there. I haven't played the games, but I've watched people play the games. There's definitely a lot of great story, cool characters, beautiful sets and music and all this other stuff. So I look forward to that.
It's a pop classic, and it should be done justice. But they might not. We'll see.
Yeah, we will indeed. Couple shows are coming to an end. Outer Banks is going to end with season 5.
Yeah, very popular among the fans.
Yes,
I don't know.
that is how fandoms
I don't know.
work, yes.
I don't see it, but I hear people saying they like it. It feels when I see images or trailers or marketing, it feels like so CW, but with young people by the beach. It's like, okay, no,
not your cup of tea.
No, I have other things to watch.
We've been to the Outer Banks. The real Outer Banks were lovely, but okay. Anyway, it's ending with season 5.
I didn't see any other people there, so I was like, okay.
Stranger Things is also ending with season 5, which we knew, but they're setting the final season in fall of 1987, and they have revealed their episode titles, but we don't have them here.
Yeah, no, you can check. It's online.
Yeah, but also I don't want spoilers. I just kind of want to go into it and watch them.
Be careful. They're not gonna name the episodes. It's gonna spoil.
Oh, fair enough.
Episode 6, The Death of 11. That, of course, is not gonna do that.
I don't know. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Oh, if they do, if the episode has that name, the death would not be the death. It would be like a drastic change.
It could be.
She lose her powers or some crap. Or she grows hair. Decent hair now.
Princess Bride came out in fall of '87. I wonder if we're gonna have any tie-ins with that.
Oh, okay.
You know, they always kind of tie in with a little bit of the pop culture of the time. That would be. I would enjoy that.
Wasn't he? No, he wasn't. Right? What's his bucket? The Prince Pirate Jack.
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the cast has been.
Okay.
Or the Princess Bride cast has been in. Anyway, that would be fun to see.
Because he's like randomly he pops, right? It's like, oh, this is like Guy Ritchie movie. Oh,
yeah.
The other independent movie about superheroes. So he's still around. So
he's around. He's busy. He works a lot. And he often plays. Carrie Elwes does great villains. He has a great recurring character in Psych. He's this like fancy old school like
Bugler.
Just classic art thief.
Oh yeah.
Very elite. His name was like Despero or something.
Ooh, that's cool.
Fantastic character. Okay, anyway, Tom Cruise is working on stuff. A possible Days of Thunder sequel.
Well, he did. It made a huge splash, a huge success with the sequel for Top Gun. Decades later. Days of Thunder is another one of his successes back in the day. He plays a race car pilot. They call pilot?
Driver.
I
know. I feel like it deserves maybe a special name.
His love interest in that movie is this young, stunning Australian actress.
Is it Nicole Kidman?
Named Nicole Kidman, who he eventually would marry. So if he wants to make another Days of Thunder, yeah, we will see it. He's being really good at what he does.
Yeah. He might be working on a third Top Gun movie.
Oh, and that wouldn't be a surprise because it was such a huge success.
Massive success.
So, even if it doesn't want it, the studios would like throw so much money at him.
And by all accounts, it seems like he has a lot of fun making those.
Oh yeah.
You know, even though the Navy won't let him actually fly the planes.
No, he flew everything, but every plane in the movie we see him flying, he flew everything but one by himself. I can't remember. Maybe it was the bomber.
There's
the
one plane that
bomber.
the Navy won't let him fly.
They said absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, the others were like you could find like private, and yeah, he did.
God, what a guy! What a crazy guy! Toho has announced that they are moving forward with a new Godzilla movie from Takashi Yamazaki, who directed Godzilla -1, which is definitely the best Godzilla movie.
And Godzilla -1 is back at the theaters for a special return celebration.
Yeah, if you missed it the first time, go see it. Yeah. I love it so much. It was phenomenal. I felt like I finally understood Godzilla. I know I've talked about this before, but I'm tired and my brain's just going. So I'll say it again. Like the other monster Godzilla movies that have been coming out for a few years, like about, Mothra and King Kong and all the rest. They're fun, but they have you like, yeah, Godzilla, this is so cool, this is so fun. Never mind the fact that he's like killing millions of people with every swipe of his tail. Like, whatever, this is a blast. This one, Godzilla -1, was the first time that I saw like, whoa, Godzilla is scary and also a metaphor for all this stuff. Oh man, this movie works on so many levels. I love it so much. If you have a chance, if you didn't get to see it the first time, it's totally worth going to the theater to see. And also, like, let's give them more money so they keep making more cool projects like this. That's all. I'll stop ranting about Godzilla now. Timothee Chalamet attended a Timothee Chalamet lookalike competition.
Yeah, he showed up there for the surprise of the other Timothee Chalamets.
Yeah.
And I know maybe some people say, oh, you look nothing like him.
It happens to everybody. But no, this competition, it went crazy. So it was hosted by this YouTuber in New York, and he does these all the time. Not always Timothee Chalamet, sometimes other people. And he said he just throw up posters, and sometimes people come and sometimes people don't. This one, like 10,000 people showed up in the
Jeez.
park. Yeah.
10,000 Chalamets? Or...
Not all Chalamets. Some people there to see it, some people there to compete. But it went crazy. 4 people got arrested.
Jeez.
They had to go somewhere else. It was bananas.
Wow.
And also Timothee Chalamet himself showed up.
Adu al-Baid.
So,
No, how is it? Hassan
Lisan
al-Gaib.
al-Gaib.
Lisan al-Gaib.
Yes.
Yeah, creating commotion.
Yeah, to say the least. So,
Wow.
but there was a winner, and it was someone who went for the Wonka look.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, but even after all the arrests, someone did win.
It's Willy.
So, yes.
Wonka's Willy. You said you don't remember his name. It's Willy
Wonka.
Wonka.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
Or Charlie.
No.
Charlie is in the movie too.
Not in the Chalamet one.
True.
Yeah.
But he's the heir, so
it's true.
He's Charlie Wonka.
Okay.
Anyways, what else?
That's it. That's our whole list.
That's it. Short news this week because with elections, I guess the industry was watching that. Everybody was watching that.
Everybody's reeling and burnt out.
And still a little bit of the aftermath, the consequences that just happened, and there's still more things. Again, we talked about the market, and so.
Oh,
next week.
Did you know that astronauts get to vote?
What? Of course. Why not? Right.
But I mean, like they have a system for the American astronauts on the ISS.
Yeah.
To vote, they have a way for them to like
online.
have a digital. Ballot, and then that gets privately encrypted, transmitted to. There's like a special satellite. Anyway, it ends up in Houston.
I don't know. I mean, it's so few, right? How many you have that does, or something like that. It's so few. The whole creating a system for that. It feels kind of silly. Like the Hamilton, New Hampshire, the first place they vote at midnight. They only have 6 people, right? They vote and they count right away. The way they do it, it's almost like everybody knows, right?
Sure.
I guess not because they mix it and So I guess with the astronauts, like they all vote and then they declare their vote via radio, whatever. But it's nice that they do. Good. Good for them. I wonder if they vote for the failing administrations or for the guy that works with the guy that's making super rockets. Anyways.
No, but you can vote however you want, and nobody has to know.
But
that's what I was told several times.
True, but would you vote if you were an astronaut? You just vote for again the failing administration or the guy that goes to rescue the astronauts that get stranded?
I feel like because 2 of the astronauts there right now, they're still stranded. They're not coming back until February.
February? I thought it was November.
No.
Jeez.
No, they're going to be there for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
It's bad. I could be super wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like
if you are the astronauts,
definitely some pro-Musk.
If you're the astronaut and you are back,
bias,
let us know.
Right.
We apologize next week for strand you psychologically.
I'm just gonna double check that real quick. Astronauts stuck in space. Yeah, no, they're still there.
In September. In February, you said.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. Well, we will be back before February. So
we will. We're not stuck.
So we come back next week with more pop culture news, entertainment, the fun things we see. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.